Welcome to the 2024 Vini Curiosity January case preview. 6 different wines, 2 bottles of white, 4 bottles of red. Arguably the most certainly curious of wine club cases that goes out anywhere, I think. Even though it's just Italy, we do our very, very best to make this as just a bundle of gems every time it goes out, and this one's no exception. So we kick off, by the way, actually I'll just get through the housekeeping first quickly. The cases are going out on January the 15th and January the 16th. If you have a small bottle tasting, it'll go out on the 15th for delivery on the 16th. If you don't, it might go out on the 16th, so deliveries will be on the 16th and the 17th. If those are not convenient, please get in touch with us as soon as you can. I will be sending an email with the Zoom invites to all of the wine club members, to both Conspirators, which goes out the week before, and to this. Do turn up, whether you have the small bottle tasting or not. If you're a member of Conspirators and just want to give it a go, give the Vini Curiosity tasting a go, do just go online, buy the small bottles, there's still time. Okay, I'll go through the wines. I'll give you a quick recap towards the end as to what's going on as well. So the first wine is from Gabriele Cordero. This is an exceptional Arneis. You had his Roero, Nebbiolo and the Barbera last quarter, which I get very excited about both of those, but I think that Nebbiolo was totally off the scale. Give me your feedback. I'm really interested to know how you got on with it. The Barbera is more of a powerhouse. That's Serena's kind of take on Argentinian Malbec. She had just come back from Argentina, so she was quite curious to see what she could do with the Barbera. For me, not quite as exciting as the Nebbiolo, but brilliant, brilliant wine. Anyway, I'm talking about the wrong wine. This is the Arneis we're talking about now. So Arneis usually has a habit of being a tiny bit too restrained for some palates, but the way Gabriele's done it's fascinating, because he has got a real powerhouse of intellect behind this business. His dad, Gianfranco, he's the most influential consultant in Colognole, almost without doubt. And his sister Sabina works with him. They're extremely, they're very technical. Their knowledge is extraordinary. And what they're trying to do with the Arneis is produce something which is more Riesling-like, that is tighter, that's more focused, that has more depth, slightly reductive winemaking. It's very, very high quality wine indeed. One of the best Arneises I've tasted. They're not going for the oaky style, they're going for that very, very freshness. So it's a clean, crisp, precise citrus fruit, but with some real richness and warmth coming through from a little bit of lees contact. Get a chance, do taste it. If you haven't got this case, quick, go online, buy it. Join the wine club, it's great. Anyway, the second wine it's from Cantina di Marzo, which is Ferrante. We love Ferrante, and his family are arguably, it could be the oldest straight line wine producing family in all of Italy. And their Greco di Tufo, arguably their family created Greco di Tufo, whilst they were escaping a plague somewhere near Naples. They took their grapes with them and planted white grapes in Tufo. First time apparently that white grapes were planted in Tufo. And the white grapes they planted were Greco, hence Greco di Tufo, of Tufo. At a more contemporary level though, what he has done that is fascinating is he's concentrating on single vineyard wines. So we have the normal, it's not normal. I never know what to call the wine that comes from the different vineyards, because you can say it's their base wine, their normal wine. It's such an unfair term. I think Annata is quite nice, just the year, wine of the year. So there is the wine of the year, and sitting above the wine of the year are the single vineyard wines. And there are 3 of those. And the Ortale for me is, well, they're all fascinating. The Laure, the Serone, the Ortale, they're all amazing. I find the Ortale is the tightest of them, the most salty, the most mineral, the most crisp. I suppose in terms of musicality, it would just have the tightest group of notes to it. And it makes a very interesting comparison with the Arneis, which is why I've put these 2 wines together. I think they're very, very fascinating together because they're both unwooded. They're made in slightly different styles, but tasting Arneis versus Greco, a higher altitude volcanic rock wine up against a lower altitude limestone wine. So it's very interesting comparison. Stylistically, I don't think they're a million miles apart. Fascinated to see what you think, actually. They're great. Anyway, moving on, because I'm taking too long as usual. We're heading into Piemonte. Why wouldn't we head into Piemonte? It's and we're up in the Alto Piemonte. So this is Costa delle Sesia, left bank wine. Right bank wine's the Novarese, the Novara side of the River Sesia that cuts the Alto Piemonte into it. Sort of goes from Gattinara, and the next area along is called Bramatera. This is in the heart of the Bramatera. But because it uses a high proportion of Croatina, it can't be called Bramatera, so it's bottled as straight Costa delle Sesia Rosso and called Vecchia Vigneti, because Paolo makes two different Costa delle Sesia. The Vecchia Vigneti is a very old vineyard. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful old vineyard. So it's roughly half Nebbiolo, half Croatina, and it's proper. It's made the way wine would have been made 100 years ago, where it's more of a vineyard mix. It's a wine made for the people, but with more know-how, very precise natural winemaking. Great, great, great wine. Then we move on to go down to Tuscany. So we're still at high altitude, but we're in Rufina now, and this is Cesare and his brother, and this is Chianti Rufina's new top wine. You may have heard of it. There are a few of them out there in the market at the moment. We decided to come in with the 2018 because it's a strange vintage. Some people love it. Some people are not so keen on it. They think that they're too easy to drink. I absolutely adore it because I don't have a problem with wine being easy to drink. I actually think that's a good thing. In the 2018s, the tannins are very controlled, they're very ripe. They might not be the longest lived wine, but in Rufina, I think perhaps they are, because the acidity is very high. There's lovely freshness to the wine, and Terraellectae is it's an astonishing wine, the Rogaie. So pure Sangiovese, it's the ultimate expression of Sangiovese, and the idea is it sits alongside the great wines of Tuscany made from the Sangiovese grape. So it sits up there with the Brunellos, with Chianti Classico, Gran Seleziones, with the Vino Nobles. That's where they're trying to position it, and I think they've nailed it, actually, because the rules are tighter than they are for Gran Selezione, and the producers, because Rufina is a very small DOCG, they've got together, they've really nailed it to the floor. I think it's great, great, great wine. Hope you enjoy it. The next two wines I do not have the bottles for because they're sitting in bond. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about them, and they're astonishing ones. So we start off with, they're both brand new. We've never had them before. And the first one is from Malggiaca. And Malggiaca, these are great wines. I've been wanting to ship these for a little while. Salverio Petrilli, and he worked at Tenuta di Valliano for 20 years, and he's now broken away, and this is he's had this running in the background for some time, Malggiaca, but now this is his sole concern, if you like. This is 2020. Malggiaca is it's not a million miles away from Baccareto, actually. So it's high altitude, but heading down towards Lucca, and it's biodynamically farmed. He isn't certified as organic. He's down as something called a BD farmer, or a biodynamic farmer. But he did that before he certified as organic, and he's not certified as organic. I don't fully understand all of this. I'll try and understand it by the time we get to the online tasting. But the 2020 Malggiaca Rosso is something very special. It's a lockdown wine. And he noticed during lockdown that just everything was growing better. You could hear the birds that year. You could smell the herbs. It was a remarkable year, and it shows in the wine. The quiet, the peace, the purity seems to come through into the wine. You might not believe it, but well, you'll get to taste the wine. You'll see if you agree with me. But this area is fascinating. It's about 50% Sangiovese. Then it's got Canaiolo, Ciliegiolo, Malvasia Nera, Barbera, Montepulciano, Chazelles, Merlot and Syrah. Yeah, what more could you want? You've got everything in one bottle. This is the ultimate red wine. Wild yeast fermentation, it's just got a sapidity and freshness and brilliance to it. I wish I had more of it. It's worth joining the wine club just to get you one bottle, because I'll hold back. I've only got another 24 bottles or so for purchase. So if you really enjoy this wine, it's hidden for sale until the wine club wines go out. But once it's up there, you get your skates on. This is absolutely first class, magnificent, super exciting wine. Then the last wine, we are now going off to Sicily, and this was a bit of a surprise for me. Nero d'Avola is not usually my favourite grape. I don't mind admitting that. This one, Feudo Montoni, are in the centre of Sicily. We bought some of their whites before Christmas and just got quite excited about them. They were really nice. To a degree, as exciting as anything I've tasted from Etna. You know, they have the same salinity, power, freshness, a little bit of lees contact. Power without weight, if you like. It's almost my favourite style of white wine. And then we tasted some of the reds, and this was one I kind of fell for. I mean, there is some Pedicone as well, which of course I fell for that as well, because it's a crazy grape type, and who wouldn't fall for a crazy grape type? But this one's called Vrucara, and it's named after the old vineyard, and it's named after eucalyptus bushes, wild eucalyptus bushes that exist in that area. The vines are pre-phylloxera, they're super ancient. It's made with cement tank, wild yeast ferments, aged in Botte Grande, 4 months in oak before bottling without filtration, 42 months in concrete. It's just too exciting. It's too exciting. It's such good wine. You do have to open it early. So small bottles should be magnificent, because they'll have just been, we pour them, so we create those packs either on the Sunday night or Monday morning, but usually on the Monday morning. So they've only had 3 days in the small bottles, and it's just the right duration for something like this. The bigger bottles, please try and give them an hour or two, because they're a bit unhappy when you first open them. So there you go. Those are the 6 wines. This is a fantastic case. Lots of diversity in there. We've got a few more left. So if you're not a member of a wine club, you want a Vini Curiosity case, please get online fast and just search for Vini Curiosity and buy one. The small bottle cases, again, they'll appear within it. Do grab one. This is a great tasting. And the tasting, to remind you, will be live on Thursday the 18th. If you're not a wine club member and you just want to have a look, see what it's like, just get in touch with me and I'll send you the link. Otherwise, you're a wine club member, you'll get all of the stuff. Can't wait to see you. An almost happy new year to all of you. What a great start to the year. Can't wait to see you. Bye.